raining pretty hard. It's filling in over here. So I think we have a problem here.
I'm mad. I am furious. I am irate.
You know how we do here on EBU, we don't do anything the easy way.
All right, guys, today's the day we're getting down to business.
You don't pull out your knee pads and tell people you're about to get down to business.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are getting back to work, but the craziest thing happened to us, and this is not a lie. We got footage of it, so I didn't think people would believe us unless we got footage of it. A real life animal came out of the bushes, and we were confused and we didn't know what it was, and it was like a lump of fur. And Matt says, what is that, a big fat cat? And tell them what it was.
Well, it went down like this. We pulled out and I said, whoa, that's like a really fat, funky looking cat. And then I said, wait, in my own brain, I didn't believe it. I said, is that a monkey? And then Kristen was just like, "Abba." Because in her brain was telling her, there's no way there's a monkey out here wild in the road. But her eyes were telling her, that's definitely a monkey. So we got closer.
It was a monkey. It was definitely a monkey.
I believe it's a Reese's macaque. That's what my phone told me when I asked my phone, hey, what monkeys live in Puerto Rico? So apparently there's a monkey island that has a bunch of them, but we're pretty far from that island, so they did a trek to get here. But apparently there's a pretty good population of them in like southwest
on the
Puerto
mainland.
Rico, on the mainland, and down by like Cabo Rojo. So I guess they're migrating up this way. I don't really want monkeys because all I see is like TikToks and stuff of them like attacking people and stealing their purses and stuff. And I have like baby chickens, and I have little, they only get about 20 pounds. So I don't know if they could grab a baby goat and run up in a tree with it, but I'm not thrilled about it. I haven't seen him in the last day, so I'm not too worried. But trust me, I know I feed the iguanas. I know I'm Mowgli out here catching hawks and having every animal fall in love with me, but I don't think I'm going to charm any monkeys because they seem like too much of a headache. Crash is enough of a pain for me. So, but I have this chickens upstairs, so I have this fantasy in my head of like the chickens and the monkeys being best friends, but I feel like the monkey might have been stealing my eggs because I ain't been getting no eggs from these up here, so I don't know what's going on. But either way, I'm scared to be working up here today because of the primates, but I gotta face my fears.
Because of the primates. There was one single monkey. There was one. But maybe they come in packs. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's called a troop. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But either way, we're getting our own work done today, and we ain't letting monkeys or rain come hell or high water. We're getting this work done.
The project we're on today is we are jumping into some tiling. If you saw in our previous video, we poured the cement patio for our front wall, and things went to hell on that. We didn't get enough cement. Matt had to hurry up and throw gravel in there. It started raining on top of that. We didn't get a smooth finish, and we decided no big deal. We'll just tile it with some cute tiles later on, and it's probably all gonna work out. So today is that day that we are gonna make it work out.
So what we're using for this are 3x6 travertine tiles. We think that's gonna give a little more tight pattern. Everything out here is pretty big and spread out, so we could have got bigger tiles and made it easier for us, but we think that these little tiles are gonna have a pretty cool pattern, and we're going with a herringbone, but on the outside we're just doing a straight border, and then we're going to do the herringbone in the middle, which is probably expert level tiling, but you know how we do here on EBU, we don't do anything the easy way. We could just do probably a brick pattern to be done in an hour and a half, but we're doing it extra special like, and we set out our border already just to see where our cuts were going to line up and make everything centered. So I have to make some cuts, and then I'm going to get the border put down first. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's the way that I'm going to do it. All right, so if you can hear me over this rain, I'm here to tell you that it's raining. It's raining pretty hard. It's spilling in over here, and then it's gonna be spilling off the front here shortly, but it's only hitting this spot now, so not ideal. I definitely don't think I'm gonna be able to thin set it in today or mud it in, so we're gonna see. Maybe it blows over, maybe it don't, but at least we can make our cuts.
Alright guys, obviously we had a wild time. It rained, it flooded a lot. Matt was doing crazy moves in the riverfront. Today we're back working. The sun's shining for now, so we're going to try to take advantage of that. And what is that? There's like a white spider on that. That's crawling.
Oh no, white spider. That's what they used to call me back in the hood. They called me white spider.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't call me white spider. But anyway, that's a sacrocrium tree, sacrocrium, and it made these, they call it, what do they call them, gummy worms? They make a gummy worm fruit when it gets ripe, and you can take it right off of this thing and eat it like a gummy worm. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let y'all know if it do taste good.
Are you going to put it in your mouth?
All right, so that's it. It's ready. Let's see what it tastes like. I'm getting hints of apple. Just pop it in there and chew it up.
I'm not going to pop it in there.
Taste it. You can spit it out. You don't have to swallow it.
I don't want to. I'm afraid there's worms or something in there.
Now she tells me.
Are those worms?
No, those are just pupae.
Ah!
It's okay. It is like a little,
What was it?
kind of like a grape.
It smells like, I don't know what.
It's got medicinal benefits though, so I heard they call that the little blue pill of the jungle, you know. So you might be getting started on Maddie Jr.
I almost threw him off the mountain, guys.
Ah!
All right, we gotta get back to work before the rain comes.
Okay, so we have all the borders cut, so our spacing we know is right. It lined up the exact same on both of the inners, so that's fully uniform. And now we have our center line, and what we're gonna do now is just dry set in our herringbone pattern. I'm sure there's a way to do the math just to measure it to know where they would go, but I can't do that. I'm not that kind of genius. So I'm just going to set them all down dry where they go, get more or less the gaps, and then we'll be able to start gluing it down. All right, so we're struggling with our layout pattern here. We're laying it out in Kristen's Lake because of the rotating pattern of the herringbone. On each end, you're getting the same geometry of cuts, but they fall a little bit differently on the tile. One goes on the fat end and one goes on the long end because of the way the tiles move back and forth. So
basically he's saying the symmetry's not on.
yeah, it's not going to be exactly the same on both sides, so we're still figuring that. It's going to take more time to lay out, but this is where I think the time of tile gets taken up, is the making sure where it's going to go. The licking it and sticking it, you know, down there, that ain't no big deal.
We're not licking nothing.
The putting the stuff down and sticking it down, that's probably not as crazy with this sort of tile. So we're still trying to figure it out, and we're struggling.
We got 90 degree or 45 degree.
I bet it's got to be at least 95 degrees out here.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, you talking about the temperature?
I'm talking about the angle of the tiles.
Oh yeah, okay. I like the 45 better, to be honest. So the 90 just, it has all the same problems, the same issues. It just looks uglier. So I think the 45 is the way to go.
What do you guys think?
In my opinion. Okay, so in our backing and forthing, trying to figure it out, we figured out the tip of the arrow and the feathers of the arrow are two different things. So we decided to, instead of running east and west, we're going to run north and south. And we think that that looks a lot better and it's a lot more symmetrical with the layout. But what we need to do for our pattern so that it doesn't move with these, with all the adjusting, these have been kind of moving and tilting in the front border. So it's something that we just keep tripping over. So what we're going to do with the weather coming in, I think that we can get this border in the front here spaced, thin set in, and then tomorrow morning it'll be hard and dry and we'll be able to push up against it to get our pattern as symmetrical as we can get it and as flat and perfect as we can possibly get it. I think that that's going to be the move for today. Alright, so it says the thin set consistency should be wet enough to spread and dry enough and thick enough to stick to your fingers. I'd say we nailed it. All my tile geniuses, please let me know if it's right or if it's wrong. Does this look too thick, too gritty to you, or does that look just right? The weather's holding up for now and I have thin set mixed, so I think I'm just going to keep pushing it, keep ripping it here, and keep trying to get work done today.
Alright guys, this is what we're working with so far. It's coming out pretty good, I'd say. How do you feel it's going, Matt? Are you learning some new techniques?
It's not as easy as I thought it would be. It's a little bit meticulous. Obviously it's small and there's a bunch of cuts and I can't get like this big trowel in there, so I should make like a custom trowel for this. It would make it a lot easier, but I think it's going pretty well. I mean, it looks good. This is kind of it's not a super precise tile job. It's little travertine tiles, so it's basically like backsplash tiles, so it's gonna look good no matter what. I could probably have, instead of an 1/8, I could probably have a 1/2 inch grout line somewhere, and you're probably not gonna see with the pits on the top stone and all the different angles, you know, and it's gonna look, at the end of it all, it's gonna look good, but it drives you a little nuts because you see the difference in the grout lines when you're doing it.
I think you're doing the best job in the whole world. Better than anyone can do.
Oh yeah, well that I can tell you definitely ain't true. Somebody could sling this tile, boy.
Alright guys, today's the day we're getting down to business.
You don't pull out your knee pads and tell people you're about to get down to business. That's sus, as the kids would say.
I was gonna make fun of you because of these, but really, that's all I could think about when I pulled that out. But anyways, just kidding. We're getting down to business. Matt needed some knee pads. It was really painful for his knee. I brought my gloves because I hate that chowdery, I don't even know what it's called. I hate powdery feelings on my hands. It's a weird thing, I know. So we're moving forward today, and we're getting down to business.
Yeah, you need the knee pads because there's little rocks, so you'll put your knee on the concrete, which is fine, but then if there's a little gravel under there, it goes straight to your sole when that happens. Like stepping on a Lego is bad. This is real bad. So either way, we're down to business.
We're getting down to business. We're ripping it. We have the idea, the design and everything, so we don't have to take any extra time. It's just gonna zip right through. So jump along on this time-lapse fury. Looking pretty cool with those. right, guys, that was a lot of work. As you could see, Matt was going back and forth. He had to make a million cuts. It was wet from the rain, so that's why you saw a lot of times he was sprinkling out the powder of the actual mortar. What is it called? Not mortar. Thin set. So then it was actually then combining with the water that was from the rain, and it was working out. You were doing a master plan.
That seemed to work pretty well. I don't know if that's a hack. That's just something I came up with in the moment because I couldn't get that last little bit of water, and I didn't want there to be a little water barrier where the I don't know, the bond was going to be with the concrete. So I sprinkled some dry stuff on there, and then I wipe it around, and that would really dry. I mean, it would be bone dry once you move that stuff to the side. So that worked really well for me. A million cuts. My dad said, about how many square feet is this? And I said, it's around about 50 square feet. And he said, cool, that should only take you about 4 hours if you're a real tile man. And I told Kristen, she said, there's no way your dad could have got this done.
Is this what I did?
She said, there's no way.
I don't think I ever did.
So Dad, we don't know if you could have got this done.
There's a million cuts. There's no way you could do a million cuts like that. If they were just square tiles, then yeah, you could probably do it in 4 hours.
I don't know, herringbone we went expert, but it looked pretty good. I mean, it's not like, you know, there's little problems here and there. It's not exactly perfect, but it overall looks really good. And this wasn't that expensive of a project. I think it was like $250, $300 total, all in with it, and that's a pretty big upgrade, I'd say, for 300 bucks.
It's raining on us right now. We're gonna have to wait for this rain cloud to go over, and then we're gonna be hitting our next step. We are gonna be putting in our grout. And I didn't get white grout. I thought about getting white grout because I think that's the kind of vibe goes with these like Mediterranean things. I got a different color because Matt talked me into it. It's like a little closer, I guess, to off-white, closer to the tile color. So we're gonna see how it looks. I'm excited to see it, and overall it's coming out really great. I'm really pleased. So let's hope this rain passes by.
So I think we have a problem here. The grout, Kristen wanted a little more of a cream color to match the tiles, and this is like darker gray than even the thin set was. So this really isn't looking that great.
Yeah, the color is not matching what the color
on
swatch.
The sticker. Yeah, I mean, it probably does get a little bit lighter, but it's definitely way too gray, way too cool, and it's gonna make those joints. We want the joints to be realistically lighter than the tiles. We don't want it darker because it's gonna make all those millions of herringbone joints super busy. So we kind of wanted a very similar color. The tiles range from brown to kind of cream, so it's gonna jump anyhow and be visible, but I think a lighter grout. So this for sure, we're not gonna be able to use.
Guys, I'm mad. I'm mad. I am furious. I am irate. I was so mad. We almost had this done, and now we can't get it done today because we don't have enough time to go all the way to Home Depot and get it done. And by the time we come back, it's going to be the rainiest part of the day. So really a giant bummer. I'm really mad about this, but you know what? It's just another speed bump. It's not the end of the world. The tile is going to look good once we get the right grout. And it's just annoying. Like, there is other grouts at the other hardware stores nearby. They don't have as many color options, and we just don't want to do exactly white. So we need to go over there. We need to get that figured out.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the universe's way of protecting us realistically, because I got up at the crack of dawn this morning to finish those cuts, and some of them are kind of small triangles. So this is going to give us a full 24 hours minimum for it to set. We got workers coming, so we kind of needed to get this project done today. It's been difficult with the weather. We've been getting half days, so you got to get pretty much everything done by noon, or else that's it. By the end of the day, it's pretty intermittent rainstorms this time of year. So this way, the thin set is going to get drier. I'm not happy about it just because you guys didn't get to see a finished product, so that's a bummer for y'all, and obviously we want to be done with it as well. But it's going to be fine. We're moving forward. We got some big projects coming. And, you know, I've been on the phone with architects and construction people, and, you know, I can't wait to get started on the house. Obviously, I'll need a little more guidance on that. So I need some smart fellas to come out here with some paperwork and some drawings and tell me exactly what to do. But once they show me, I can read it and I can build it. So it's going to look good. I'm excited. Sorry we didn't get it done though. Don't get irate. It is what it is. We're gonna go hit the
This just always happens to me. I buy something thinking it's some color, and then it's always something else.
We ought to just run to Home Depot anyhow because we got to get groceries and stuff anyway. What is it already? 1 o'clock, 1:30.
So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see the end project early or any real-time updates of what's already happened, make sure you check out our Patreon. We'll be posting some pictures of it. But like Matt says, we have big projects coming. They're coming tomorrow. We got workers coming. We're not going to tell you what yet, but next episode, get ready. Subscribe, comment, like, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.